Hi everyone, Anat Kessler here with a new video tutorial, and today we're continuing with our 12 cards of Christmas series. We're making a pop-up gift card. You have a link to all the measurements in the video in the description under the video. You can go ahead and grab that link and print the cutting guide and instructions for free. So we have two pieces for our card. We have the base that we're going to fold in half and then burnish the fold well. And then we have the pop-up mechanism that we're also going to fold in half and then make some marks on it. Okay, so while the pop-up, after we folded it, while the pop-up is horizontal, we're going to make some marks with a pencil and a ruler to help us draw the pop-up gifts. So once the card is still folded, we are going to make some horizontal lines. So I'm going to place the card horizontally with the fold line towards me, and then I'm going to mark at 1 inch, 2 1/4, 3 1/2, and 4 3/4. I'm going to mark them again at 1 inch, 2 1/4, 3 1/2, and 4 3/4, like this. So then I'm going to draw some horizontal lines where I marked the pencil on the card. The card is still folded. So I'm going to draw the lines, and they have to be straight lines, so make sure it's aligned. And I'm going to draw the first line from the edge all the way to 1 1/4 inch. The second line is going to go all the way to 1 1/2 inch. The third line is also going to go from the edge to 1 1/2 inch. Sorry, to 1 3/4 inch, sorry. And the last line from the edge to, again, 1 3/4. So the first line is to 1 1/4, the second line is to 1 1/2 from the edge, and the last two lines are all the way to 1 3/4. Now I'm going to create score lines that connect the lines that I just drew. So there is one score line connecting the fourth and third lines, and then another score line connecting the edge of the second score line and the line below it, and then another score line from the edge of the first line to the second line below it. Now let's cut along the pencil lines that we did. I'm going to cut along them until you reach the end of the line, and these basically are going to be the gifts. It's going to be a stack of gifts that are going to pop out when we open the card. It's going to be really pretty. So once you cut all those lines, you can go ahead, if you need to erase the pencil marks, you can go ahead and do that now. And then I'm going to show you how to reverse the folds and create a pop-up. So what we're going to do is open the card. We're going to fold on the score lines that we did while the card is still closed. So we're going to fold them in one direction, and then we're going to flip the card and fold them in the other direction. Remember, we did some scoring there, and you see that each rectangle is a little bit bigger as you go down. So now what we're going to do is fold the card like this. You don't have to really do anything. It seems to know where to go. And then close it while all the rectangles are folded towards the front like this. And these are the pop-up gifts. So now we need to make these rectangles look like gifts. So what we're going to do is cut some strips. You can make them as wider or as thin as you want. We're going to make ribbons to go on each of the rectangles. So each strip is going to go in the center of the rectangle, and we're going to need 6, 2 for each tier. And again, you can do this with ribbon. I find it easier to do it with paper, but it's up to you. And make sure you align the strips with the center of each rectangle, which is going to be slightly different than the layer beneath it, because the rectangle, each rectangle as we go up is smaller. So the middle, the center shifts. Okay, now let's add the last strips. And I'm making them smaller as I go, so they will be proportionate to the size of the box. These were a little bit too thin. Let's make them slightly thicker. Okay, so now I have ribbons all over tying my gifts, and I want to have the end of the ribbon on the top. So I'm cutting 2 triangles to add to the top. This is going to be the bow. So I'm adding one on the left side of the fold and the other on the right side of the fold. Don't glue anything on the fold itself. Just have to trim them a little bit. Okay, so now they look like gifts, isn't it? Looks really pretty. You can go ahead now and add embellishments, message, you can stamp, you can add stickers, you can add punch out shapes, you can add cutout shapes. I'm adding little stars that I punched from a paper that has a lot of shimmer and bling on it, so it will look like shining stars. Just adding them around the paper. Again, you can embellish any way that you want. Looks very festive. And now we can go ahead and attach the pop-up to the base. So you apply glue on both sides of the pop-up and then attach it to the base that is matching in color, of course, so everything will look really pretty. So I've applied glue to one side, then align it with all the edges and the fold line, making sure it can close properly, and then apply glue to the other side and simply close the card to secure. This is how I like to do it. It's easier this way. Okay, so you can go ahead and embellish the front, and let's see the full effect. Isn't that pretty? Pop-up gift card. So I really hope you like this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video, so you won't miss anything and you'll be able to follow all the tutorials and make all the projects, especially in the 12 cards of Christmas series, so you don't want to miss any of the cards that we make. So I want to thank everyone for joining me. I hope you like this card, and I will see you next time.